going on, everybody? Harry here, and yes, here we are because Doug Christie just got hired by our Sacramento Kings. It was kind of a formality. We all knew it, even though Scott Perry was hired recently, and all the signs, every outlet, ESPN, Bleacher Report, every reporter you could think of was saying expect Doug Christie to be hired. Even though Scott Perry said during his introductory press conference that I'm going to do this due diligent thing and interview some, or he didn't even say interview. I don't think he said. Talk to some guys. Once he said I have a week, or I'll announce it in a week or so, week or two, something like that. We all knew it was going to be Doug, and I think it's okay because Doug loves the organization. We had a terrible season by, I guess, our fandom standards because we made the playoffs not even 2.5 years ago, and now we have a completely different team. De'Aaron Fox, our star now is Zach LaVine. DeMar DeRozan, I expect him to be traded, but maybe he'll stay. He said he was going to train Keegan Murray. That's what he's looking forward to doing. They have a lot of choices to make with Jake LaRavia being an unrestricted free agent. The most they can offer him is $5.3 million, I believe. So I don't know if they do like a 3-year $16 million deal, a 4-year $22 million deal with some incentives. I don't know if he'll take that. He's a piece that the Kings desperately need. A wing that can defend, not super athletic, but he's lanky, and he defends very well. He hustles. Size that we desperately need on this team. We need wings for days, and he's not even that athletic, but he hustles. He's thick. He's big, and he's somebody we'd love to have on this team and keep. We traded for him even, so hopefully they can hold on to him. They have the Keon stuff. I keep saying Mike Perry because of MMA, but Scott Perry has a lot of decisions to make. Keon has a weird contract thing going on, whereas if they decline his option, he's a restricted free agent, I believe, not unrestricted, to where they can sign him. They can match any offer that is given to him. So I believe, unless they just sign him to an extension, the best thing to do for Keon is to decline his option. Because if they accept his option, accept his option, he'll be extended 1 more year, but then will be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. So this is one of those weird things where it's better if they decline the option, because then any team could sign him for whatever amount of dollars and we can match it, just like the whole Zach LaVine thing from 2018 and other players that have happened to. So hopefully they can get Keon back as well. I believe Keegan is also due for a contract too. They're going to decide what to do with DeRozan. Zach staying for at least 3 more years. Sabonis, there's been rumblings about him too. And then what are they going to do at point guard? They desperately need a point guard. Sabonis said everybody's been talking about it. I believe they keep Monk too. This team might not look super different from last year, but I think it will look different for sure. Trey Lyles is unrestricted free agent. We'll still have Valanciunas, but they desperately need size. They need a couple of wings. They need a point guard really bad. There's been rumblings of John Morant, which would be huge, but he can't really shoot. He has a troubled past as well. There's been talks about Trae Young. He said he wants to stay in Atlanta, but you never know. There's talks about LaMelo Ball. Another guy doesn't play defense, but he's a talent for sure. There's a lot of options out there. We'll see. Are they going to go Chicago route and get Lonzo Ball? I don't know. Giddey, I think, would be great, even though it'd still be Chicago 2.0. There's a lot of options what they can do, and I believe they will get a point guard. They will address the wing depth stuff. I think they need a long, lanky rim protector, because Sabonis isn't that guy. He's great at what he does, but he's not a rim protector. The paint is a layup line, basically. And so, like I said, Scott Perry has a lot of decisions to make. And Doug now will have the off season to do what he needs to do. He will. He's been training with Sabonis the last 3 years. He's really close with Sabonis. Sabonis looks like he wants to be involved in everything. Now they fired Brown. Sabonis didn't want him, and they hired Sabonis' guy, Doug. So I expect a lot out of Sabonis now. They did what you wanted. They, fired the coach you didn't want. They hired the coach you did want, an inexperienced. Now they got to fill out. Doug needs to fill out his bench. He needs to fill out, some experienced X's and O's guys. That way, because Doug is very inexperienced. I think he'll be a good head coach, but he needs help right now. And you can tell last year he just wasn't an X and O's guy. He's a motivational speaker, but he's not an X's and O's type guy who's going to drop all these great plays. He needs a really good staff around him, and hopefully Vivek gives them a decent budget to get a good solidified bench surrounding him. So we'll see. I'm excited. I know a lot of people aren't excited about Doug being here, but I am. I think nobody loves the Kings more than Doug Christie. He wants to win so bad. He still has that bitter taste in his mouth from the early 2000s against the Lakers, and I think Vivek loves him too. At the end of the day, you can talk all you want about Vivek. He's the one. He's the puppet master. He's the owner of the team. He saved the Kings too, and that's not an excuse for all the bad stuff that has happened. But he believes in Doug Christie. I believe in Doug Christie. He's kind of like Joe Hendry from TNA, WWE. So yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully he has a good off season. Now there will be no excuses. Doug has his bench. He'll have his guys. He'll do things his way, and hopefully we start off hot because they technically did better with Doug than Mike Brown last year. So we'll see. Looking forward to it.